You are a snake. You are a
Oh,
rat.
yes. Oh, yes.
You.
Oh, yes. Let's watch this. Let's just watch the whole thing. It's 48 minutes long. I want to listen to this. Alex Jones just completely turned on Owen Shroyer. And Owen Shroyer is like, you know, one of his hosts for literal decades now. Shroyer said that he's quitting. He's leaving Infowars, which is a pretty big deal. And Alex Jones is just losing his mind right now. I'm here for it. Check this out.
Are a snake.
Dude, I would love it if I could.
You are a snake. You are a rat. You are a fraud. You are a backstabber. You are a handbiter. You are a disgrace. And I don't know if it's his personal life. I don't know if it's stuff he's smoking.
Okay, I understand Owen Shroyer quit, but he was like on good terms with Alex. Like it didn't seem bad. And Alex Jones is just losing his mind over here for no reason. And he's accusing him of doing drugs and stuff? Oh my God, bro. Wait, do we have comments on this? Yes. Oh my God, we have comments on this video. Let's see what the comments say. Wait a minute, I already told y'all I had a dream about someone stabbing Alex Jones in the back a year ago, but y'all still called me crazy. I already know the answer. Wait a minute, the problem is everyone has a hive mind. Get it? Wow. Okay. Info world order. And never watched Owen anyway, unless I was wide awake and needed to get to sleep quick. At least we got some good comedy out of this segment. You are a crack whore. Your pimp is Israel. You should be used to being treated like a crack whore. That's what you are. Wow. Okay. Alex, you are a low-life scumbag as a former 20-plus year supporter, listener, and defender. Let's not forget $349 you stole from me and everyone else who paid for your bullshit Reset War scam. What? What's this? Reset War scam? How did I miss this? Tell me about Alex. Oh my God. Alex Jones's heard somebody mention it. Thing about it. You know what? I think I'm fully done with ChatGPT, honestly. It's so frustrating. It takes forever. Way longer than it should. Claude is just... Okay. Reset War is a $222 online course launched by Alex Jones in late 2021, which he promoted as the culmination of his decades of work and the most important thing I've ever done. I've never heard of this before. Wow. Okay. I'm going to do a deep dive on this. I'd never heard of that before. I'm going to do a deep dive later. All right, let's listen to Alex Jones act a fool here.
You are a snake. You are a rat. You are a fraud. You are a backstabber. You are a handbiter. You are a disgrace. And I don't know if it's his personal life. I don't know if it's stuff he's smoking.
Accusing him of drugs. That's low.
But I've seen a lot of people get paranoid, that smoke pot and go nuts. But I mean, I can just tell you this right now.
Smoke pot and go nuts. You think people smoke pot and go nuts?
That I'm not here to be shit on or stabbed in the back. This crew isn't your punching bag, and we did nothing to you but be loyal. And your little 5-hour extravaganza of little puppy dog that doesn't know why, and he just wanted to come back and shake my hand. He starts talking.
Bro, he did. I don't know. What are you complaining about? That's what he tried to do. He wasn't being a douchebag. He wasn't lying about you, making fun of you, wasn't talking shit. What's your complaint?
To me like he's literally a pimp and I am a crack whore. He's like, here's how it's going to be. I'm leaving and blah, blah, blah. Well, what's the problem? What's the thing? Well, I mean, what can we do? I mean, I don't understand. He's like, well, it's just.
Let me tell you something about the content creator market. Alex Jones is uniquely kind of outside of, he makes at least twice as much on every video per viewer as he would otherwise, because YouTube takes 55% of the ad revenue that my channel generates, and I take 45%, or maybe it's reversed. I don't remember. Anyway, we split ad revenue because YouTube is the ad distributor. They have clients go around to these companies and they lobby them to get ad deals and things like that. I don't have to do any of that. Alex Jones lost access to monetizing his content completely and had to create his own platform, his own system to monetize. So he sells diet pills and stuff like that, but it's his own product, which means he makes 100% of what those diet pills and stuff bring in, of what the ads bring in. So if I make $6 per 1,000 views, which is pretty average, reasonable expectation, $6 per 1,000, Alex Jones makes 12 per 1,000 or more. He could feasibly make as high as 15, 30. Hell, on Spreaker, my podcasting network, I make $30 per 1,000 views because they have different types of ads on there. YouTube is like a lot cleaner and sanitized and will only play like Ford F-150 ads or whatever, you know. But Spreaker plays, they have different deals with different ad companies and they get higher rates. So I don't know what Alex Jones makes, but it's, you know, multitudes more than anybody on YouTube. And he's saying all this.
What can we do? I mean, you know, I don't understand.
He's saying Owen Shroyer said he wants more pay. Yeah, that makes sense. Owen Shroyer's probably bringing in literally millions of dollars for Alex Jones. Literally millions. A lot of fucking money. If I had to guess, knowing Alex Jones's audience, knowing Owen Shroyer and their rough number of, you know, viewers and things like that, I would venture to guess Owen Shroyer is bringing in $15 million a year for Alex Jones. If I had to guess, $15 million a year. More, maybe. And he's being paid salary. How much is he being paid? $100,000 a year? Hell, $500,000 a year? Far cry from 15 million, right? 15 million might be incorrect. I'm just, you know, giving you an idea of like what I know in the creator market and what you might expect in this kind of thing. Owen Shroyer is definitely going to lose some subscribers, some followers, some attention or whatever. That's definitely going to happen. But he's still probably going to make like multitudes more money if he goes to Rumble. Alex Jones doesn't need to stream on Infowars exclusively anymore because Rumble exists. And of course, he doesn't stream to Rumble because he doesn't want Rumble to take his audience. He wants to encourage people to go to band.video or whatever. Out of curiosity, let's see, is Owen Shroyer on Rumble? Owen Shroyer could open a Rumble account and have like tons and tons and tons of followers like nearly instantly. War Room with Owen Shroyer. It doesn't look like he's on here yet. Wait, this is verified. Owen Shroyer live. Yeah, like 60,000 views per video, or I'm sorry, per live stream. I mean, it's hard to tell if this is legitimately him or what, but he's gonna probably make a lot more by leaving than he would by staying, by orders of magnitude. A lot more.
He's like, well, it's just gone on too long and whatever. But I'll tell you this, if you're really desperate, you can pay me more money. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to promote my new show on Infowars. And I went, which again, I'm not even against him having a show. If he was nice, I was just like, it was just kind of like, I was like, well, I said, you know, in the bankruptcy stuff, I can't really give you.
Okay, this sounds fake. I'm sorry. This sounds completely fake. And Owen Shroyer is earning you more than you are paying him, straight up. That's just what it is. He is worth more than what you're paying, like by a lot more. You can just give him more money and he'll stay, it sounds like. But Alex Jones, you know, that's kind of a douchebag and just refuses. Doesn't surprise me that this company has workers' rights problems.
Raised, I said, that's okay, Owen. He goes, well, you know what? You know, as a favor for you, I'll come in and do a week. I'm like, no, that's okay, Owen. That's fine. I wish you well. And I hung up and literally got a tear in my eye because he was talking to me with just like Patrick Bateman or something. So then
I'm sorry, brother. I don't believe you. I don't believe a word out of Alex Jones's mouth right now. It seems to me like Owen Shroyer is trying to be honest. It seems to me like Owen Shroyer is just trying to be nice and trying to help out because he's been with Alex Jones for so many years. Honestly, like I'm on Owen Shroyer's side here. Why is Alex Jones being such a fucking douchebag about this? You know how sometimes you can listen to drama and like instantly tell that it's complete bullshit? You can instantly tell whose fault it is. I think it's pretty obvious whose fault this drama is, right?
He races out and goes on air and is like, you know, I'm just leaving because, you know, I know I can't talk about Trump and, you know, I know it hurts Jones's access and, you know, he really, you know, all innuendo. He didn't have the guts to just tell the pure lie that I told him to do stuff, which I didn't. And a bunch of other stuff. I haven't even watched half of it. It's just so painful to watch. He's sitting there manipulating and wriggling around like a snake trying to make it as bad as he can, but skate the edge. So
To my knowledge, Owen Shroyer said that it was like Alex Jones was looking over his shoulder 24/7. He said that it was like he was watching everything he did and asking him to like talk positively about Trump and stuff like that. And in that case, I totally get it. I wouldn't want to be on there anymore either.
he can say, I never did that, because he
Also, you know, Alex Jones is very pro-Israel, more than, well, all right, let me rephrase. Owen Shroyer is a Nazi, like a full-blown Hitler-loving Nazi in effect, and covers it under the guise of being pro-Palestine. I'm pro-Palestine, but that guy fucking hates Jews. There's very obviously a difference, right?
He's got the whole crew knows it's not true. He's got the other hosts that know it's not true. He then runs on air and is like, I just wanted to come back for a week and shake his hand and thank him.
Okay, I don't think he was crying, but if he was, so what? Why do you care if he's crying?
But he
Has he a Nazi? Never heard the guy talk before. He's not openly a Nazi. Like, he doesn't come out and say, I love Hitler. But everything that he says and does is very anti-Semitic and says things like, you know, the only president who never visited the Wailing Wall? JFK. That's an anti-Semitic Nazi conspiracy theory that the Jews control the world and have for 100 years or 1,000 years, for like ever. And JFK was assassinated because he didn't visit the Wailing Wall. It's a conspiracy. It's bullshit. So I'm gonna, you know, things like that are why I say he's a Nazi. If he isn't a Nazi, might as well be, right? It seems like it to me.
he doesn't want to be my friend. Meanwhile, let me tell you how it is. I mean, literally, yeah, no, it's all over. It's not, you can't get me back. I tell you, though, if you're really desperate. And he said that, and I went, excuse me? There was more. And he goes, well, I mean, if you want to do something really desperate. And he was really getting off on it. And I'm like going, this is an evil son of a bitch, man. Wow.
He keeps using that word desperate.
I had a snake around here. I had no idea. And I literally started getting the tears in my eyes because he was burning down like an old house. It burns up in like 2 minutes. He's burning down. I'm just like, oh, and I got to go, man. And I literally stumbled in the pool and I was just like, And I was like, I'm going to take the high road. I called the crew. I said, let's be nice. Let's be sweet. And then I started seeing the clips. And Owen, man, you're a piece of crap, brother.
Okay. I saw some of the clips and it seemed like Owen wasn't saying or doing anything negative about Jones, really, right? It seemed to me like Owen was just kind of laying out his piece and everybody was trying to get him to talk shit. Like that one guy that said, you know, referred to your drunk boss or whatever, and Owen just kind of like chuckled it off or whatever.
All right.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
And if I was anybody, I wouldn't turn my back on Owen Shroyer. So, I mean, he took Snake to the next level. So, Owen Shroyer's dead to me. If he
Jesus, dude,
goes on air and repents to Jesus and apologizes for being demon possessed or whatever it is he is, then I will forgive him. But he thinks that he would like absorb us as a launch pad and lie about us to make himself a victim so he could project himself and launch his own show when he cut and run and didn't even call me or didn't even say anything or didn't even say, hey, what can I do?
Brother, this dude went through like testifying in a fucking defamation trial for your ass, okay? He stuck by you through all that defamation shit when it would have been better and more advantageous for him to like leave and start his own show because you were burning up all of his money, basically giving it to other people because they deserved it, of course, having like lied about Sandy Hook the way that he did and everything. But you're burning up all his money, all the money that he earned for your ass. Like the dude stood by him through all of that. How can he possibly like view Owen as a traitor? That's wild to me.
He just cut and run and said, I'm done with you people. When Bloomberg and The Onion came in here and ransacked this place, and we stood up to him and won thanks to your backing and God's providence. And
that's a term Hitler used a lot, providence. I mean, a lot of people use it, so I'm not saying that he's using it intentionally. I just find it interesting when I hear people use that because I don't hear it very often. It's kind of an older term, right? Owen Shroyer stood by you through all of that, brother.
the whole time, he was trying to cut and run. But then when he figured out that, oh, it's still there, he slunk back over, and I never even came to him and said, hey, it's good to have you back, man. Glad, blah, blah. Just, yeah, okay, sure. Just like that. People say, why was you swinging around like that? Because I wasn't going to give him what he wanted.
Bro, that did not happen. Seriously.
I knew what he was going to do, but I wanted to make sure. It's one thing to know what somebody's going to do, but it's another to wait till they do it. And he did it worse than I thought.
Oh my God. What a colossal scumbag, dude. Alex Jones. Seriously, Owen Shroyer is a Nazi. I don't know which person I have less respect for, Owen Shroyer or Alex Jones. I mean, damn. They're both pretty fucking bad. I'm thinking I have less respect for Owen Shroyer. But, you know, Alex Jones, I think, is in the wrong here. Fully in the wrong.
First off, betrayal is one of the most despicable things there is. And particularly betrayal that is carefully crafted.
Alex at least tries to say Nazis are bad as far as I know. Yeah, he does. He says Nazis are bad, although he shares like a ton of beliefs with Nazis. So there's that. But yeah, Owen doesn't. Yeah, he is a lot closer to the Nazi spectrum than Alex Jones seems to me.
And it is premeditated. To know that someone who acts like they're your friend is plotting and scheming and...
Bro, I didn't get that impression. It's a fucking employee who decided to quit. Can employees not quit anymore? Is that like against the law or something?
Manipulating, and to just disregard it because you're a loyal person, and then to see that individual betray not just you, but the crew and the idea of what we are and how embattled we are, and to try to cast us as the villains and he as the hero and the victim. I will not put up with it. It is the holy grail out there to be censored, because when you really are censored, people want to Streisand effect find out what's been censored. And I've been really censored. I've been...
This dude is such a scumbag, honestly.
...really attacked. And so is Infowars. But I've never accused people of censoring or oppressing me who didn't do it. And we had another talk show host about 6 years ago post on Twitter that we were censoring him. He didn't say what. I came into him and I said, what did we ever censor? What did we ever do? And he said, I'm not talking to you about it. You know you're censoring me. And I said, how? I said, listen.
Well, I mean, Owen Shroyer said that, like, Alex Jones didn't come out and censor him. He just made it kind of clear, hey, you know, this isn't like you should kind of chill out on this talk. There's a difference between saying do not talk about this and be a little more positive about Donald Trump, for example. And I get the impression that it was the latter that was taking place.
Do it again, you're fired. And about a year later, they were uploading his morning show, and this happens, you know, every once in a while, and only the first hour went up, and he flipped out and went online and said that he was being censored by us. And I called him up, and he started yelling at me, don't you give me that. And I said, the guys, all the time we upload stuff to everywhere. They'll upload it. We don't even know, well, what were you talking about? He was just bashing Trump. And
all right, look, and Alex Jones is coming up against an interesting fact that conservatives don't seem to understand most of the time. Freedom of speech is not the same as freedom from consequences, right? Like, you don't have Fox News does not have an obligation to have me on as a regular host. That's not free speech. Free speech is not me being allowed to host a Fox News show. Free speech is not me like being forced to allow somebody on, like to allow Nick Fuentes on to spout off his nonsense. That's not free speech. I have the right to choose whether I want to bring this person on or that person on. And so does Alex Jones. He has a right to deny people access if he wants. Wait, adjust brightness till the image on the left is barely visible. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Alex Jones saying, I only want Trump supporters on here. That's your choice. Is that what your whole thing is about? I don't expect Alex Jones to hire me to work at Infowars. That would be absurd. But he keeps butting up against this thing like, yeah, that's fine. You can censor people that you don't want on your show. That's okay. I don't have any issue with that.
So that's it. You're fired, man. Not because of what he was saying about topics, but because he was saying we were censoring him. So, and that was David Knight. So I've got a real problem with this. And I took the high road on that because I wasn't very close to David Knight. And he was kind of the grumpy old man and was just frustrated that his show wasn't as popular as mine. And I promoted it. and just had a chip on his shoulder. And I mean, I did stuff like, give him hundreds of thousands of dollars when he had a heart attack, and hire both his sons, and kiss his ass. And the more I was nice to him, the more he just got angry and hateful. And then he's gone out since then and disgraced himself and said that I flat out censored him on things. Oh, really? Show the proof. Not true.
Like, again, there's nothing wrong with you telling people this is a Trump-friendly program. I wouldn't expect him to allow me to talk about universal health care on his show. God, these people are like their own worst enemy, honestly.
I mean, this is ridiculous, okay? So Owen Shroyer has now done this, and the way he did it is particularly deceptive, like he thinks I'm stupid. Got a very aggressive phone call from him with him yesterday, and then he ran off and did his publicity stunt at my expense, the crew's expense, at this institution's expense. And I mean, just lie after lie after lie. I mean, I've got, and we're checking with lawyers right now, but I've got his tax filings. I've got what he's paid. I've got everything here. So
why would you have that stuff in front of you right now, in front of an audience? Like, isn't that private information? Isn't it kind of messed up that you'd be like holding that shit up to an audience?
Had a raise since 2018. Since 2018, he's had multiple raises of $80,000 on top of what he was paid before, and huge bonuses. Have it all right here. That's just one example. Who do these people think they are? So,
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, Alex Jones is bottom of the barrel, right? Like, the shit that Alex Jones does is so low, honestly.
I didn't put him in prison on J6. We raised the money for him to fight it.
Shit, I didn't realize you went to prison on J6.
I didn't do any of these things. And to watch the way, and I couldn't watch the whole 5 hours. I wasn't even going to watch it. People kept sending me clips, and my phone was blowing up, and all these text messages, and is this true? Is that true? And I started watching it, and notice it's why I'm leaving Infowars. Not I quit, or I was fired leaving at Nebulous, but just get him on the screen. I came and look at him. And he's like, oh, I understand why he didn't want me talking about Trump. He'll have his access cut off. That's why I've got to go. Oh, I understand the things I was doing were really causing the problem. No, they weren't. I never told him you ought to do this or that. I said, hey, you can attack Trump all you want, but hey, we also need to stay on top of the Democrats here. I said that on air. I never even said that to him in person. I said on air. That's what talk show hosts do. I started out in talk radio. Other shows on the same station, the morning show talks about the afternoon show, and they disagree and agree, and they have debates. That's normal. We're not in a cult here. I'm not censoring somebody because I say I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I have Nick Fuentes on who says he's totally done with Trump. And I say, you're making good points. I can see why you say it, but I disagree on this, and that.
That's interesting.
And Nick doesn't go, oh my God, you're censoring me because you disagree with me. That's not what that is. And I talked to Nick this morning, and he obviously thinks that, before I even told him what went on, that, Owen handled it completely wrong. But it was that.
No, give it a rest, dude. Really. Give it a rest. Okay. Owen Shroyer chose to leave Infowars. Like, why do you insist on there being bad blood? Why does there have to be bad blood between you guys? Why are you such a douchebag, Alex?
I started this morning. I didn't do my workout because I was busy, and I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and watch these clips. And I sat there, and what made me really mad was he was acting all sad and hurt, and, oh, this happened, and, well, and it was like innuendo for hours and hours. And at the end, oh, Alex never censored me. But he stood over my shoulder.
He did say that. Owen Shroyer, he did.
Yeah, like what, once a month come in to give you something? Which, when he was hired, knows part of the thing. That's why there's microphones in the control rooms. I want everybody to get on there. Hey, breaking news. I'll come in and hand them did you see this on Fox? This just happened. Go tell Owen. Doesn't mean have him on. He was mad. He told the crew that I'll have a guest on and say, hey, you're here. You're a huge guest. Nick Fuentes is an example. Or whoever, Roger Stone, whoever it is. Hey, did they book you? Hey, call Owen, see if he wants them on. Owen told the crew that was me controlling a show, just helping a newsroom. Hey, you want to go on another show? Let's see if they can have a slot for you. That's what he's got.
I understand why Owen would feel like, pressure to like do the guests that Alex Jones wants him to do or whatever when he says all of that. I totally get it. Look, the bottom line is there's a power imbalance between you two, Owen and Alex. And it probably felt uncomfortable, and it was just time for Owen to leave, and that's okay. People can leave, right? But Alex Jones gonna just melt down like a child over it.
That's what David Knight had, because they need to be censored. They need me to be the villain. Oh
yeah. FD Jack says there's such a thing as undue influence, right? And as I'm sure FD Jack knows, undue influence is like the thing that defines a group as a cult. If they're using force, fraud, or coercion, or if they're using undue influence to impose their will on somebody, that is what cults do. And generally, like abusive relationships. At the end of the day, a cult is just an abusive relationship between the adherent and the leadership. So undue influence, to be more broad, is something that abusive people do to their victims, whether that be cult members or whatever.
Oh my gosh. One time they only uploaded the first hour of his show instead of 3. And so the evil people that just uploaded everywhere and 99% of the time get it right, they made a mistake. Finally, Alex Jones censored me. Finally.
Honestly, like I said, Alex Jones is fully within his rights to not upload anything he doesn't want on his show. Like, he has no obligation to platform anti-Trump content or whatever. He has no obligation to do that. He owns the shit. He can do whatever he wants. You're coming up against free speech and free expression and everything else.
Oh, finally, it's so good. I'm a victim. I'm the best. He's bad. See, he was evil. I was good. And that's why people that bash me, and I've talked about this a lot on air, you see it all the time. I'll have a guest on and we go to break. And then they post and go, look, when they talked about this subject, he went to break. And they don't show that coming out of break, we always come back to it. Or the breaks have been set for 27 years at the exact same time. Got one coming up in 14 minutes, 20 seconds. Set your watch by it. It's an atomic clock. They censor by not showing you what they said after and then invert it and say, I censored. That's what other people do, because this is the whole thing, to manufacture censorship. And so you can...
These guys honestly have a weird relationship with censorship. Seriously. Like, they don't seem to appreciate that there's a difference between freedom of speech and free expression or whatever. That there's a difference between the government censoring you and you just, like, you know, making choices for your company or your friends or whatever. If I don't want to be a friend with somebody, then I don't have to, right? That's not like, I don't have an obligation to be friends with a person that's insufferable. That's an insufferable shithead. It's not me censoring the person.
A Streisand effect. Oh, I was bad stuff going on. You know, I had to go because, you know, this and that. And I mean, like, we're not human. That's very sociopathic. We're not human. And to boost yourself so you can get 1 million live streamers watching you, here it is right here, you know, couldn't do that on regular news topics. Though Owen's done some great stuff and done great work. That's why I hired him. No. But for whatever reason, if I can just get that hit again, I'll just come out and attack Alex Jones and play victim and act sad the whole time. And it's not true. So, Owen, tell us again, you hadn't had a raise since 2018? Is $80,000 increase in 3 different raises? Is that a...
Again, he's probably generating $15 million a year for them based on my knowledge of the industry and how I know how much I know that they make. I would guess $15 million a year. That's a lot of fucking... Wow, $80,000. Jeez. Thanks so much for this $80,000 raise 8 years ago or however long. 7 years ago. That's so nice of Alex Jones to give him an $80,000 raise 7 years ago, right? Or however long, or however much. So it's not $15 million in 1 year. That's for sure. Honestly, like, I'm all in with Owen in this case, even though he's a complete fucking scumbag.
$80,000 on top of what you're getting paid? Tell people what you are paid?
He's obviously threatening him here, right? I'm gonna tell everybody what you make unless you, whatever. Owen Shroyer is worth way more than he's being paid on Alex Jones's show. Like, way more.
You got the clips? How about telling people about the bonuses or the Hellcat I gave you just as a friend? Here, have my Hellcat. It was worth about $60,000 I gave it to you. It was $85,000 when I bought it. Oh, yeah.
What's a Hellcat? Wow. Okay. That's apparently a Dodge Charger. You just gave him a Dodge Charger. Okay. Interesting.
Tell me, Owen, about how bad I am again. So if somebody will lie about people he said was his friend for 10 years like that, and so nakedly, that's a really nice person. And so let me tell you what happened yesterday. I'll get to all the other news that's coming up. Owen, last Thursday, I'm all stressed out. My dad's had open heart surgery. It went well. I'm driving back up to Temple to see him, driving back and forth. Came down on Thursday to do the show in the morning, drove up here at like 5 a.m., do my show, get in the car, leave. And Kyle Seraphin starts texting me saying, hey, I just got sued by Cash Patel's girlfriend. Plus, we found a secret J6 database to secretly persecute people and this and that. I go, well, that's huge. I said, well, can you go on Owen's show if you've got a slot? And he said, yeah. When? He said, 4:30. So I call up Rob Agueros, who's the producer at that time, and I say, hey, see if Owen wants him on. He's got a slot. He can come on anytime after 4:30. And then Rob calls back and he says, well, what's the topics? And I said, well, just call Seraphin. And I said, I'll send a voice memo to Owen. So Owen, during the break, listens to it and says, that's it. I'm leaving. And says, I'm controlling his show in a newsroom saying, hey, this is a big thing. I can't do it because, I stay up here at night and do reports. I'd have done it. Here's this thing. We're a team. And that's been like that ever since he was here and before he was here. I mean, the guys are in there grabbing articles and videos and I'll, when Owen's show's about to start, I run over there with stuff that I think is important. Hey, do you already have this? I think this is pretty big. You know about this? That's what goes on in newspapers and TV stations and radio stations. It's like having a pigskin in a football game or a baseball in a baseball game or lights for a nighttime game or hot dogs and Coca-Cola being sold. But see, in the world of victimhood, that is like absolute total censorship.
This dude is such a douchebag. I would hate to have him as a boss. Metroid Dread drives me nuts. I remember this part.
To give people information. But that's how he's then vague. He was standing over me. Actually, if we did our job better, I would be doing that every day, not bringing him something once a week. Hey, in here on the computer, I just grabbed it off Fox, off the satellite. Hey, we have raw feeds too off satellites. Hey, look at this raw feed. Come get this. That's so bad. That's bad, isn't it? Like I'm running around at big TV screens with satellite feeds and saying, look at this, look at that. I mean, that is just horrible. I sit in the coffee room that's got satellite feeds and eat my lunch at 3:00. And then I sit there and text the crew. Hey, looks interesting. That looks interesting.
You eat lunch at 3:00? What a fucking monster, dude. Aside from that, I think Alex Jones is being a little bit disingenuous here. I don't think he's being honest about what he does. Check that out. I grabbed the fruit and now there's another one that isn't moving. And if I can eat it. That's 2 coins. It's interesting, right? And I can do it to other fruit as well. It's not just that one. I can do it to any of the fruit. Fascinatingly. Watch. Maybe I can get it. Oh, every time I do this, I'm getting 2 coins from it. I'm not sure why that is, or how it works, or what. But yeah, there's a weird glitch with how the fruit works that I learned like years ago. See if I can do it with. I got 2 coins with that one just now.
Man, I want to apologize right now. I mean, you're talking nasty evil, okay? Being a news hound. I mean, I want to apologize actually to Owen for that. But that's the type of sophistry where you go, oh, he would hang over me. He would try to control the show. He would whatever. Total lie. And then as all the articles come out and Jones censored Shroyer on Trump criticism and Israel. So let's see if Shroyer comes out and apologizes for you. Oh, no, he's going to say, I didn't really exactly say that. No, you couched each statement perfectly thought out and looking down at your notes to be able to lie about us and try to hurt this organization for you.
He didn't try to hurt the organization, really. He was not disgruntled. He wanted to leave on good terms. And unfortunately, he couldn't. If there's one thing that I've learned about Alex Jones, and, honestly, a lot of people on the right, is that they're drama whores. They cannot help but be dramatic shitheads constantly. It's like it's in their blood.
Your benefit so you can be a hero. You are a snake. You are a rat. You are a fraud. You are a backstabber. You are a handbiter. You are a disgrace. And let me say something else about you. Even before he went to prison for 4 months, and we did the crowdfunding, raised, fought everything for him, all that, he stopped talking to the crew very much.
Dude, I didn't know that he went to prison for 4 months over J6. I did not know that. That is fascinating.
Have a good attitude, was pissed off all the time. And then it got to where he'd show up right before the show, wouldn't even talk to the crew. He'd walk by me and say something like,
Bro, he went to prison for 4 months. Do you have any idea what prison does to you? I bet Alex Jones has no idea what prison is like. I've not been to prison myself. Wow, I just got completely wrecked just now. I haven't been to prison, but I've been that fucking close. That close. My brother-in-law, I guess, I was really close to him. He went to prison for 4 years. He had every chance, honestly. Like, he didn't have to. He got probation. It was a 2 to 10 sentence, and it was for possession of a precursor to manufacture methamphetamine, I think. It was before I met him. Anyway, he was getting a ride home from a dude. Supposedly, the dude had a mobile meth lab in his trunk, and he gets pulled over. And they said, if you take the blame for this shit, then we will give you a bunch of free stuff. And he said, okay, fine. So he took the blame. Anyway, got a 2 to 10 sentence. They put him on probation for like 2 years, and he couldn't make it work. He kept missing his like his call-ins or whatever. He kept like failing his searches. He kept failing his drug tests and everything. So they ended up going all the way up the chain, putting him in prison for 4 years. And I remember I was there when he finally got out of prison, and he was a different person. He was not the same. He used to keep food in his dresser drawer, like food that wouldn't go bad, peanut butter, ramen noodles, stuff like that, because that's what you do in prison. There's no dignity. You have a single toilet in the room, and you're in the room with another person, and there are no walls, there are no doors. You're in a pod with, 6 cells, 2 people per cell, so you're to 12 people total. You're in a pod with those 12, wide open. Everybody can see you using the bathroom. There's no privacy. There's no nothing. Prison takes away your dignity, and it's wrong. Like, I feel like we should do things very differently. If it were up to me, I would at least put doors around the toilet. But it does something to you. Going to prison does. You're not the same person anymore after prison. It fucks you up. It's a traumatic experience. Prison is. Even jail for a couple of months is a traumatic experience. You lose everything and everybody. It's all gone. You lose your job, certainly. And now your resume is going to have a gap in it. When they do a background check, as pretty much every company does, that's going to pop up. You were in prison. You're fucked. That's it. Prison is really, really, really bad. And, Owen Shroyer deserved that for doing what he did with January 6th and everything. He deserved it. But Alex Jones here talking about how he came back from prison and he didn't talk to anybody. That makes sense. I get that. I don't blame him for that. That shit will really fuck you up. That will fuck your head up. Seriously, it's traumatic.
Just started laughing at me. Again, I'm not in junior high, so it didn't hurt me at that level. It hurt me that he was just like, yeah, I heard you. Yes. Oh, and we can go further. When the Onion, backed by Bloomberg, did the fraudulent auction and got caught in all of that
They didn't get caught in anything. Give it a fucking rest. Yeah, the Onion tried to buy Infowars, and I don't know what happened with that, if they ended up getting it, but they paid. I think they were ready to pay for it.
on November 13th, and I said, we're not leaving. This is a fraud. I'm filing emergency motion. The judge found it to be a fraud.
That's not exactly true, but okay.
2-day hearing on all that. Owen just left and just called the producer and said, I'm done. I quit. Even though we have a backup studio, I told everybody, hey, it's going to be fine. We have new backers, all this stuff. If we get shut down, he's like, I'm gone. Starts announcing, is this the time? Because Infowars is being shut down, he thinks. Announce his new network and funding and all this stuff. And then we're back the next day, and Owen just shows back up and does his show.
Interesting. So he's saying that Owen was ready to bail on Alex? Okay.
And walks in and just looks at me with hatred and like slinks in there, just because he really wanted me to fire him so he could be a victim.
What?
And I confided just in a few of the producers. I said, he wants to be a victim. I said, I'm going to have love and say prayers for him that he gets better. I'll be really nice to him, give him extra bonuses. Maybe he'll pull out of it. I tried to talk to him. He's never wanted to talk to me. And I said, but I said, he's going to stab me in the back. He's a new person. And I don't know if...
Like, it sounds like Owen was just ready to leave. He was ready to quit. And that's, that's okay. He doesn't have to be there. He has no obligation to be there. He's stuck with Jones through everything. He's stuck with him through all of it. He did not have to do that. Again, the guy would make so much more money on his own. Is going to make so much more money on his own here. Now that he's off on his own, now that he's quit. Alex Jones is really like taking the guy for a ride, you know? He's really like getting 15 times what he's paying Owen, and it's kind of sad. Workers' rights don't exist in this world, though, of course, so.
It's his personal life. I don't know if it's stuff he's smoking, but I've seen a lot of people get paranoid, you know, that smoke pot and go
please
nuts. But I mean, I can just tell you this right now, that I'm not here to be shit on or stabbed in the back. This crew isn't your punching bag, and we did nothing to you but be loyal. And your little 5-hour extravaganza of little puppy dog that doesn't know why, and he just wanted to come back and shake my hand and be nice, and then I kind of censored him and said, no, you don't need to host your show. You want to hear what he said in the phone call to me? I didn't record it. I was in the pool with my 8-year-old daughter playing with her Barbie dolls at whatever it was, 4 o'clock yesterday.
You were playing with Barbie dolls? Okay.
You know, a rare day, I actually only came in and worked the office about 4 hours. So I go back. She's literally calling me. Daddy, you're supposed to be home. You said be home at 10. I want to play in the yard. So I'm sitting there about 4 o'clock, bobbing around, and I get a text message. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Hey, I'll see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Because remember, I called him Thursday when he just got up and left. I said, hey, what's wrong? And
don't you love how Alex Jones is always like framing himself in the most charitable way? Hey, what's wrong? I didn't know you were upset over anything. Everything going okay? And he frames Owen as like this evil monster. He's laughing behind my back, you know? This guy's so stupid. It's so transparent and bullshit. Like, how does anybody buy this? Really? Alex Jones, man. He is something.
He's like, Monday. I mean, because he's the commander. And so I sent him a few texts later. I said, hey, can we talk now? Ignores me. So Monday rolls around. Bzz, talk, 10 a.m. tomorrow. I got the text right here. And I'm like, that's...
Oh, and are you going to show us the text? Or are you just going to say you have it there? Because I have no reason to believe you.
Kind of late, maybe 9:30, whichever. I said, how about we just talk right now? Because I go, it's pretty clear you're about to quit. He goes, you really want to do this right now? I said, yeah. So he calls up. And while I'm calling him, he calls me. So I pick it up. And he starts talking to me like he's literally a pimp and I am a crack whore. He's like, here's how it's going to be.
Honestly, I have no idea what that sounds like, and I think it's odd that Alex Jones does know what that sounds like, but okay, whatever.
I'm leaving, and blah, blah, blah. Well, what's the problem? What's the thing? Well, I mean, what can we do? I mean, you know, I don't understand. He's like, well, it's just gone on too long and whatever, but I'll tell you this, if you're really desperate, you can pay me more money, but I'll tell you this, I'm going to promote my new show on Infowars. And I went, which again, I'm not even against him having a show. If he was nice, I was just like, it was just kind of like, I was like, well, I said, you know, in the bankruptcy stuff, I can't really give you a raise. But I said, that's okay, Owen. He goes, well, you know what? You know, it's a favor for you. I'll come in and do a week. And I'm like, no.
Why is he laughing all maniacally? I'll come in and do a week. What the fuck, dude? And Alex Jones is acting so genuine and honest and trust. Well, I appreciate that, Owen. You're so nice. Jesus Christ, this guy is so transparent. Seriously.
Well, that's okay, Owen.
That's okay, Owen. Thank you anyway. I really appreciate you caring about me. Anything for you. Jesus Christ, dude. This guy is something else.
That's fine. I wish you well.
This is how I can tell that, you know, instantly I can watch drama and tell who's wrong. Like, hey, I just jumped on the P switch. That's really, really hard to do. That's like a frame perfect trick. Anyway, I can always tell who is full of shit when I watch drama videos. I can tell which side is completely full of it because they do shit like this.
And I hung up and literally got a tear in my eye because he was talking to me with just like Patrick Bateman or something. And so I go back and get the pool and, you know, keep playing.
With the Barbies, right. I remember.
Or maybe it was even earlier than 4. That's right, because then I took my daughter to see a movie. Whatever, it was in the afternoon. So then he races out and goes on air and is like, you know, I'm just leaving because, you know I can't talk about Trump and, you know, I know it hurts Jones's access. And, you know, he really, you know, all innuendo. He didn't have the guts to just tell the pure lie that I told him to do stuff, which I didn't. And a bunch of other stuff. I haven't even watched half of it. It's just so painful to watch. So he's sitting there manipulating and wriggling around like a snake.
I didn't get that impression. I watched some of what of Owen Shroyer's stuff, and it seemed to me like he was just it was like his final show or whatever, and that was it. And people were calling in and talking and whatever. Like there was no big secretive, questionable, evil, blah, 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 whatever. It's just completely full of shit.
And make it as bad as he can, but skate the edge so he can say, I never did that. Because he's got the whole crew knows it's not true. He's got the other hosts that know it's not true. So he wants to pull a David Knight. I mean, Harrison Smith says whatever he wants. I walked in this morning, I said, have I ever told you not to say something? He goes, no, it's actually, I'm surprised you haven't. I'm kind of out of control. I go, no, but I like you're a good guy. Just say whatever you want. So, and I've got all the producers and all the people I've said on air, I think Owen's too black-pilled as an example, and that we all should be more positive. That's my opinion. It's not an attack. It's a discussion. So
again, there's nothing wrong with Alex Jones saying, I don't want you talking about this stuff on my platform because it's my platform. I own it. I created this. I funded this. I, make all the money from it. I produce it. I blah, 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 whatever. I do all of this. This is my stuff, not yours. And I want my platform to be about how great Trump is. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called capitalism. And they don't seem to understand the difference between freedom of expression and freedom of speech or whatever.
He then runs on air and is like, I just wanted to come back for a week and shake his hand and thank him. But he didn't. He doesn't want to be my friend.
Well, he tried to leave amicably is the point, and your dumbass couldn't handle that, I guess, because you're a child.
Let me tell you how it is. I mean, literally. Yeah, no, it's all over. It's not, you can't get me back. I tell you, though, if you're really desperate. And he said that, and I went, excuse me? There was more, and he goes, well, I mean, if you want to do something really desperate, and he was really getting off on it. And I'm like going, this is an evil son of a bitch, man. Wow, I had a snake around here. I had no idea.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And I literally started getting the tears in my eyes because he was burning down like an old house. It burns up in like 2 minutes. He's burning down. I'm just like, oh, and I got to go, man. And I literally stumbled in the pool, and I was just like, And I was like, I'm going to take the high road. I called the crew. I said, let's be nice. Let's be sweet. And then I started seeing the clips. And Owen, man, you're a piece of crap, brother. All right. And if I was anybody, I wouldn't turn my back on Owen Shroyer. So
Jesus, dude. I'm sorry, man. I am all in for the drama. I am here for the drama. I have limited sympathy for Owen Shroyer, seeing that he's, a Nazi or whatever. Seeing that he's a Sieg-heiling, Hitler-loving Nazi. Alex Jones voice, I'm a pioneer, I'm an explorer, I'm a human, and I'm coming. I'm animated, I'm alive, my heart's big, it's got hot blood going through it fast. Is that like a quote from him? I haven't heard that one. What's that from? Thank you for the super chat, I appreciate that.
And if I was anybody, I wouldn't turn my back on Owen Shroyer. So, I mean, he took Snake to the next level. So, Owen Shroyer's dead to me. If he goes on air and repents to Jesus and apologizes for being demon-possessed or whatever it is he is, then I will forgive him. But he thinks that he would like absorb us as a launch pad and lie about us to make himself a victim so he could project himself and launch his own show when he cut and run and didn't even call me or didn't even say anything or didn't even say, hey, what can I do? He just cut and run and said, I'm done with you people. When Bloomberg and The Onion came in here and ransacked this place.
That's not what happened. Didn't he just describe the situation like a few minutes ago in a completely different way?
And we stood up to him and won thanks to your backing and God's providence. And the whole time he was trying to cut and run.
I mean, the dude owes $1.5 billion with a B, $1.5 billion. And his company was like being taken. The only reason that Infowars still exists is because the families chose to allow it to continue to exist. Because they wanted him to be able to continue to make money to pay them off. Of course, Owen Shroyer didn't know if he was going to have a job at the end of the day. It blows my mind that Alex Jones is such a backstabber in all seriousness. Owen Shroyer, he's underpaying Owen. He's underpaying him. He just is. Massively. And Alex Jones backstabs him the moment he can. It's like dirty.
But then when he figured out that, oh, it's still there, he slumped back over, and I never even came to him and said, hey, it's good to have you back, man. Glad, blah, blah. Just, yeah. Okay, sure. Just like that. People say, why would you swing around like that? because I wasn't going to give him what he wanted. I knew what he was going to do, but I wanted to make sure. It's one thing to know what somebody's going to do, but it's another to wait till they do it. And he did it worse than I thought.
Dude, this guy has such a persecution complex. It's absurd.
So Owen thinks his new franchise is going to be talking crap about me. He thinks his new franchise is going to be running down this fabled operation, this incredible crew, and our
I didn't get that impression. Did anyone else get that impression?
supporters that are the Infowar. Well, guess what, buddy? You can piss up a rope. No matter what happens to this office of the name Infowars, we're going to go on forever thanks to the listeners and the viewers. God bless you all.
Oh boy, we have an ad. This is a really hard spot to hit just right, but if you get it, then you can skip a whole section of this level. And I'm trying to get it. Hang on. Damn it. This is like really difficult. Come on. Got it. Wow. So just let's watch this ad for a second. Frankenstein smashing lab equipment. I'm sorry. Frankenstein's monster smashing lab equipment. Okay.
Oh, here it is. Bovine Colostrum Plus. This is what I was looking for. This is the only thing that works on a monstrous stomach like mine.
Dude, the AI is out of control. The AI ads.
If it works for me, it will work for you. Order yours at the website below.
I'm loving this ad right here.
Charging into a goblin's nest.
Dude, this reminds me of Angry Video Game Nerd. You guys familiar with AVGN?
Goblin vomit.
Is this Ghosts and Goblins? Is that what this is supposed to be? That game for the NES? All of these are obviously done with AI. Oh my god, dude, the AI ads out of control on this show. Hold on, this is the hard part. Let me just get through here. There we go.
Infowars power plan. AlexJohnStore.com. Infowars power plan.
So he's supposed to be Tarzan here?
AlexJohnStore.com.
The hell am I looking at? Bro, this is insane. What is this? These ads.
Alex on a top-secret shoreline mission to handpick nature's vitamin-packed sea moss before the globalists patent it.
Before the globalists patent it. Dude, why didn't they just get, like, Alex Jones out there to do this? Really?
Scooping it up like it's Cyber Monday in the supplement aisle. But suddenly, a 20-foot-tall sea moss mutant erupts from the tide pool like Godzilla. Alex dashes like he just saw a new Fauci vaccine. Will he make it or become the monster's meal? To be continued.
This is so confusing.
And by the way, I'm going to say this to tough guy
Bro, that was so confusing.
Shroyer, the smartest guy in the room, Mr. Know-It-All, thinks he can run a publicity stunt to hurt our operation for his own gain. I didn't bring out the bad stuff. So go ahead and run your mouth some more. And go ahead. You got some bad stuff to say? Just more. Just do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Like Elvis says.
Elvis says, let's go. Okay, I thought you were talking gamers, not Elvis.
Well, if you're really desperate, pay me more. But I'm going to promote my new show on your station.
I mean, that's pretty normal, honestly. Like promoting like new shows or whatever, that's not unusual. That's expected, actually. But okay.
And I
like,
just
when I go on The Line, which is a proper media network, I promote my shit all the time. There's nothing wrong with that.
did them 5 minutes before. Well, if you're doing something new, great. You know, with these new backers we've got, if they shut down Infowars, we're going to go to 20 hours a day and like to work with you again. I went, nah, I don't think so. And I was just talking to Harrison out in the hall during the break, and he said, yeah, we thought Infowars was going under because the crew didn't really believe me we were going to beat them. And we also have a backup, which we do. Now they know that.
The crew didn't believe me that we were going to beat them. You didn't beat them. You still owe the Sandy Hook families massive amounts of money. And the only reason that this is still open, the only reason that he is even capable of streaming still is because they wanted him to be able to continue to make money so they can get some of it with each show he does.
I understand, that they didn't know back then. Now they really believe it because we survived a bunch of these attacks. He said, Owen, that's great. Well, I'd like to work with you, man. We should do a show once a week together and kind of keep the old team together. Somehow Owen's go, no, I'm working alone. And that was the attitude was he wouldn't even talk to anybody for years here in the office.
Okay, well, the dude goes to fucking prison. That makes sense.
And just went completely cold. I'd be like, hey, let's go out and get a steak sometime. Nah, it's all right. And he'd pull up in the parking lot, just get out and just look at me like, literally. He walked by me and just go, look me from the feet up, just go.
You're like a mean girl in high school? Is what you're saying? Owen Shroyer acted like a mean girl from high school? Really? Like, Alex Jones is such a ridiculous human being.
Yeah, right. I mean, you talk about an arrogant person. He should star in the new American Psycho. Hell, he should. If they need somebody to run for, California governor after Newsom leaves, I think Owen ought to move out to California. He could do it. He's in love with himself. He's worldly. And I'm glad I let it mature until the big fat tumor was right out in the open so everybody could see it. But it was worse than I thought. The big tumor I thought was just the tip of it.
Just the tip.
And so.
Yeah, Lord Fonzie says pot, meat, kettle. Exactly.
It's a real shame. Real shame. But I've been stabbed in the back so much and had people lie about me so much that I've taken the high road every single time. And this is.
You're taking the high road now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You think you're taking the high road?
Is the high road.
He says this is the high road.
Because if I let him sit there and tell all those lies he did, he'll just make a cottage industry out of it. That's what these people do. Former employees say that, there's a fish bowl and I grab the fish out and eat it. There's never been a fish or a fish bowl here.
Sign up for my Patreon. I'd really appreciate that very much. It would mean so much to me. This is like a really precarious moment in history, in U.S. history, and for me personally. So it would mean a lot if you sign up for my Patreon. Check out cultarchive.org. I did a cult test, basically, where you can see if you're in a cult. And you can look at the historical tests of other groups that already went through this. Also, check out my merch. I have a whole bunch of really cool shirts and stuff. Really interesting. I would really appreciate that. Wow, that's really fucking disturbing, actually. Somebody claimed that? Did somebody claim that? That you grabbed the fish out of the bowl and ate it? What the fuck? The more I think about that, the more horrified I am.
And just all sorts of insane crap. And I just put up with it. But here's the difference.
You put up with this? Come on, Alex. You don't expect anyone to believe that, do you? That you just put up with it?
I wasn't friends. I mean, I liked him. I knew him, but I didn't hang out with them hundreds of times at restaurants and bars. I didn't go on trips with them everywhere. I didn't shake their hand and laugh. And he was a funny, nice, sweet guy. But even before he went to prison, he turned nasty. And
it sounds to me like prison changed him. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Prison does bad things to people. Like, prison in the United States is horrifying and inhumane. And there's no dignity. There's no nothing. You're an animal. And that is at least in part because they're privately owned. These prisons are. Like, the companies that own them are not government entities. The government pays these companies to provide 3 meals a day and a bed, and that's it. That's all you're entitled to. It's really, really, really horrifying, like how prisons are in the United States. It's not somewhere you want to go, or even jails.
And all I can say is he's unrecognizable from the old Owen Shroyer. And I got all this other big news to talk about. People tune in on the radio stations all over the country to hear about the news and information. And
wait, are you on radio stations?
I was so excited yesterday about today's show and all the good things the Trump administration is doing, which are real good things that devastate the globalists. Let's say Trump's Satan himself, okay? Let's remove that from the discussion. Case in point, I was telling the crew, this morning, yeah, look what Owen posted here. Look what he said. He said, Trump has admitted defeat on warp speed.
Warp speed was that thing that, what was it? The vaccine program, like immediately after COVID started. It was that program, the government program that like gave massive numbers of grants to companies to come up with a vaccine, right? And it was a pretty big accomplishment, but Trump can't even claim it as an accomplishment because all of the anti-vax nutcases.
By coming out and saying, looks like they held back data, I want the data released. Well, we know what the data is, mass deaths. We know it from lawsuits already, but they're trying to get the original data. And I guess you can look at it. That's actually a true statement. Okay, Trump admits defeat. I know he was conned. He was roped into it. They gave him fake statistics. I said that back at the time. I know because I know the people involved. I've talked to Kennedy, all of them. The lawyers involved, the people that got the documents. We already know all this. But now it's coming out. And so you take something like that, just case point example, and say, Trump has been defeated, along with Fauci and Bill Gates and Peter Daszak and Albert Bourla and Larry Fink. And so long after Trump's gone, we're going to be dealing with the globalists. We need to take them down. And Kennedy signs orders to ban all these poison shots, and they countermand it, so he fires them, and they refuse to leave. There is a war, protest inside the buildings at HHS.
Right. That's what's happening right now at this moment. Kennedy just went through and fired a bunch of HHS employees and stuff, and it was a big, ugly thing.
NIH, CDC. And we're getting to that next. I mean, did you just think we'd come in and just snap our fingers and get this done? No. And I'm not on some jag about Owen. It's just a case point. White House fires, put it back up, CDC director who says RFK is weaponizing public health. So they weaponize medicine, put out poison shots to turn off your immune system.
Oh my God. You think that, by the way, this is the hardest level in the game, I would be willing to bet. I think this is a really, really hard level. Anyway, you think that some ambiguous, amorphous, evil you think that they are creating poison shots or whatever, like to turn off your immune system? Like, really, get help, Alex. These people are unglued from reality, straight up.
Give you blood clots and attack your ovaries and testicles and everything else, give you turbo cancers.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Turbo cancer. I forgot about that ridiculous, absurd claim.
And then he's weaponizing public health by trying to get GMOs out of school lunch programs and to not have kids drinking Mountain Dew with 12 teaspoons of sugar.
Bro, I wonder how he felt about Michelle Obama's campaign or whatever to make America healthy again. Do you remember that? Michelle Obama, like every first lady always has, you know, a thing that they work on. And hilariously, Melania's was end cyberbullying. You remember that shit? End cyberbullying. I mean, she didn't do anything with it, of course. She just said, that's what I want to work on. Anyway, Michelle Obama's was make America healthy, basically. I don't remember what the slogan was, but the goal was to try to get junk food out of schools. And they lost it at the time. Said, what, I can't have a Mountain Dew? What's the problem with having a Mountain Dew? It's so funny to me that now Alex Jones is all in with RFK and his, you know, make America healthy again bullshit. When I don't even think RFK is doing that, trying to get like Mountain Dew out of schools, is he? And by the way, GMOs aren't harmful or dangerous. GMOs are good. We couldn't survive as a species without GMOs. We exist because because we accomplished, you know, because we learned how to make GMOs. Like, GMOs are all over the place. They're everywhere. GMOs are just foods that have been modified to one degree or another to grow quicker or grow bigger or whatever. I mean, apples our modern day apples are genetically modified because we simply, we pick the ones that we want. Artificial selection. We pick the biggest, reddest, and the juiciest apples. Or bananas. Those are genetically modified because they are not naturally occurring. I mean, all bananas in the world today are the same strain. They're all clones of each other. And in the 50s, there was a banana that we were all using. It's the banana that our flavoring is all based off of. Our banana flavoring, it's all based off of this specific banana from the 50s. But that banana is gone now because a disease came along and wiped it all out. And for some stupid reason, we're cloning bananas instead of, growing them naturally or whatever. So now we have the less flavorful version. I don't remember what it's called now, but we had to use the less flavorful version of the banana since the 1950s. That's why banana flavoring does not taste the same as banana. Anyway, all this stuff is genetically modified. What are you bitching about? And you know, and I say this 100% seriously, and if you disagree with me, I want you to look it up. I want you to read about this, learn about this, if you disagree. And after reading and learning about it, if you still disagree, okay, that's fine. Monsanto is not that bad. Monsanto's not a bad company. I mean, they do things that any big company does, scumbag shit that every big company does, but they're not a bad company inherently. They're no worse than any other major company, Procter and Gamble or whatever. They're not Satan. They're not bad. Anyway, yeah, these people are absurd and embarrassing. Tell me what you think about it in the comments.